Live on Facebook.
Hello, hello. Here we are. I see a lot of folks popping into the room, which is always so much fun. I'm going to wait while I see a few more audios and videos connecting. Lots of regular faces in here and a few faces that are have been coming in recently. I see some folks from the Ubuntu week. This is very exciting. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, Karen in Arizona. Great to have you back again today. Hello, Dick Jackson from Victoria, BC, and one of the Ubuntu leaders who led in our room before. Thank you for being here today. Hi, Kathy in Virginia. Great to see you. You're looking very well. And Dennis in British Columbia, another one of our Ubuntu folks and my, in fact, co-host in the Ubuntu week. Luda, hello, nice to see you today. Glad you're with us. And hello to Nancy's Irish Cow in Washington State. And David in upstate New York, glad to have you back again today. Lisa with a voting sign in Indiana, great to see you. Thank you for that. And Nicola coming in England, but no audio yet, so she doesn't hear me. Hello, Kathleen in Albuquerque, great to see you. Bonnie in Idaho, great to see you with lots of voting going on behind you. I love it. Janet in Georgia, great to have you with us today. Thank you so much. Dan in Virginia, hello. Beryl in Chicago, hello. Great to have you today. Storm in Massachusetts, hello. And Carolyn in Idaho, hello, with some democracy in your hair. It's awesome. Hello, Marnie. Great to have you, Marnie, coming in from Charlottesville. And Susan, hello. Great to see you today. Zeta, there's a little one in the room. It's Zeta and Ray Ray. Hello, coming in from Chicago. Great to see you, sweetie. Hello, Ray Ray. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you today. And hello, M. Fine Tuck. Nice to see you today. And Sydney, hello. Dion in Massachusetts, hello. Jane, hello. And it looks like we've got lots more folks coming in on video or on audio still. Hello, Nicola, if you are connected yet. And hello to everybody also whose video is not on. And I'm sorry I'm not saying hi to you all in person, but hopefully we'll get to see you on the goodbye. And hello also to everybody out there on Facebook Live. Really glad you're with us today, especially to Mary, who comes in every day from Omaha, and Tiggs in Massachusetts, and anybody else who's out there today that I can't see. We're glad you're here. Welcome officially to the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song. We are here every day live at noon EDT, singing one song together. Songs of hope, songs of freedom, songs thinking about some of the crises in the world, and sometimes just songs for fun to sort of uplift or ease the anxiety that a lot of us may be feeling right now as we go through tumultuous times. This particular week is our voting songs week. Woo! So let's all have hands for anyone. So sorry about this, Canadians. Anyone who's voted already. Woo! Yeah, I think, you know, what we might do actually one of these days is anybody who took a Goonie picture of themselves putting their ballot in the ballot box is going to have to show it on the screen here, because I know so many people who took pictures of themselves voting because it feels like such a big thing this year. It should feel like a big thing all the time. All right, if you're new to us, please put your state or your country in the chat box so we know where you're coming from. In the chat, oops, Binta, looks like we've got somebody off mute. Can you help out with that? Thank you.
I put it in a file to be photocopied.
Hello, folks. In 1 second, we're going to look and see if we can figure out who is needing to be muted. I got it. Thank you. Sorry there, gang. Okay. So let's see. There's a donate link in the chat box. So all the money that comes into this program goes directly to the artists who are leading us in song. So thank you very much for whatever you can do to help keep us going. My email is in the chat box. If you want to be on our daily email list, we send out the artists in advance and the lyrics in advance. And I also love to hear from people, song leader suggestions or anything else you want. I love having email from folks. And a big, huge shout out of thanks to Binta Kulivali, who is in the room with us today, our brand new tech person for every day of the week. We are so excited to see her here. Start thinking of ways that we can harass her, because there's all kinds of things I'm sure we can throw her that would be challenging. So today's artists are new to us in this room, but hardly at all new to song leading. In fact, they may have something to do with some of the song singing and song leading you've ever done in your life. They are the force behind the Rise Up Singing songbooks, which I know when we announced that the other day, about exactly. So anybody in here ever use the Rise Up Singing songbooks? Right, okay. Annie and Peter, I hope you can see that on the screen. It's pretty cool, right? So Annie Patterson and Peter Blood are also doing a daily song of hope that they're going to tell us about. And they are musicians extraordinaire and a force in the whole folk music scene. And they are going to sing a song today by Si Kahn, which is actually someone else who's led in this room. Annie and Peter, welcome. We're so excited to sing with you. We can't wait to learn your song and sing along.
Hi, everybody. Hi. So glad to be here with all of you. And it's just exciting to see so many people from all over. So welcome. Yeah, we're going to teach you guys a song by our dear friend Si Kahn. And we just think this song is unfortunately really very pertinent to today. Do you want to say something about it, Peter?
This song actually was written by Si back in the 80s when Ronald Reagan became president, and you'll see when you hear it's about Ronald Reagan, but Si Kahn realized after the last presidential election that this song unfortunately had come back to haunt us, and a lot of the lyrics actually apply really well to the way campaigning is being done today, kind of using the flag for the wrong reasons and trying to bring up special interests over people's interests and that kind of thing. So Si actually made a great video. We can probably link to it at some point, or we can certainly put it in the newsletter of Si singing it and kind of standing in front of the White House. And it's a really cute video of him doing it. It's in Rise Up Singing. It's in the men's chapter, appropriately, because it's kind of about testosterone a little bit.
It's about male privilege, people. Yeah. Male privilege.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to teach you government on horseback, and I guess we'll start with the chorus. All right? All right, good. So the first line is, 'cause we've got government on horseback again. And I'll sing a line, and then I'll sing it again, so you guys can learn it.
She wants to go all the way through first.
Oh, did you want us to do all the way through on the chorus first? Oh, okay. So the chorus all together sounds like this. And by the way, if you have an instrument and you feel like playing along, we're doing this in the key of D. I'm using C shapes with a capo on.
And if you have a Rise Up Singing, it's on page 138.
'Cause we've got government on horseback again. Back to the days when congressmen were men. We can make it on our own, running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. That's the chorus. And yeah, boy, I get all choked up when I sing this song. So the first line is, 'cause we've got government on horseback again. 'Cause we've got government on horseback again. Good. And then, back to the days when congressmen were men. Back to the days when congressmen were men. Woo-hoo! We can make it on our own. Let's try that much. We can make it on our own. Running on testosterone. Running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. Last line. It's government on horseback again. Let's try it all together. 'Cause we got government on horseback again. Back to the day. Back to the day when congressmen were men. Oh yeah. Well, we can make it on our own. Running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. All right, that's the chorus. All right. So the thing about this song, I will say, is what I do pretty much with a lot of the songs in our songbook is I take my pencil and I really put a stress mark under the words that fall on the beat. And on this song, I think it would be really helpful for people to do that. All right. So, are we ready to sing this? I'm looking for a yes from Joe. Okay, good. The president stepped off the silver screen. He said, people, put your lives here in my hand. We can turn our country's honor white again. Let the sulfur smoke of progress fill our land. 'Cause we got government on horseback again. Back to the days when congressmen were men. Well, we can make it on our own, running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. Turn our native corporations loose. Help me give our land a golden goose. Now it's power to the people, nuclear style. High voltage lines will go the extra mile. Oh yeah, 'cause we got government on horseback again. Back to the day when congressmen were men. Well, we can make it on our own, running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. Blow out the lamp beside the golden door. We don't need cheap foreign labor anymore. Oh, without the unions and the ERA, we'll have twice the jobs at half the pay. Oh yeah, 'cause we got government on horseback again. So true. Back to the days when congressmen were men. Well, we can make it on our own, running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. Back again, back again. We've got government on horseback again. Well, it's back home for the mommies, bomb the hell out of the commies. It's government on horseback again. Woo! It's so hard to sing that song without screeching and running out of the room.
Does anybody think that song is still pretty applicable?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the funny song that's not funny, or it's like the funny song that could be funny, or that maybe we could laugh about it sometime really soon, but not necessarily right at this moment. Or like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a sense of like the humor coming up, and then sort of, I'm not sure if the anxiety or the humor wins out in the end, but it's a perfect song for this week and for these times. And I think ideally what we would want to hope is it becomes a very imperfect song for any times, and that we can continue to sing it, but not ever have to mean it anymore, would be ideal.
We have to still use it in Russia for a while.
It harkens back to a sort of Tom Lehrer style, and a lot of these songs, sometimes songs are so in your face, but when you have a song like this that's got a little humor in it, it does make you twinge and kind of go a little freak out inside, because you're realizing while you're singing it, you're realizing the truth. And I think that's the beauty of it.
I absolutely agree. And I can tell that there are folks in the room who agree, because there was lots and lots of nods, which is always, the nods make us all know we're on the same page, even if we can't hear each other cheering or calling out when we hear. But I am going to just call out a few things that I saw in the chat box. Kathleen put in that she put her ballot in the mail. I'm going to not be able to find it right now, but she put her ballot in the mail, and it got where it was supposed to be going very quickly, and she was cheering the Postal Service for a great job. And I also know, I'm not sure if Barry is still in the room. I talked to him recently, and that notion of getting your ballot in the ballot box and then watching online, waiting to see the progress of it, and your ballot is in limbo, and your ballot is in limbo, and your ballot is in limbo, and finally the point where your ballot is received and you hope tallied. So this is definitely a strange time for all of us for voting, and just in general. And I mean, not just here, it's globally the strangest time ever, I think. So there was also, let's see, a Storm put in a quote a comment. When Si originally wrote this, he was conjuring images of cowboys. Unfortunately for me, now it conjures up mounted police using their horses to step on peacefully, legally assembled protesters. Pray for our democracy every day. Thank you, Storm. Beautiful comment. And someone from the UK, Nicola, wondering what ERA was. And thank you to Karen for answering the Equal Rights Amendment. And certainly, if anybody's looking for something to Google for the day as their sort of voting lesson for the day, Equal Rights Amendment would be a good place to start, just learning a little bit more about it, about how it came to be. And actually, during the discussion, maybe we can see if Annie and Peter have any suggestions for us for learning a little bit more about voting. Laura put in sob laugh. That's great, Laura. Thank you. And let's see. Dennis put in, it's finally my opportunity oops, it keeps moving. To say an enormous thank you to Annie and Peter. The books are so useful, inspiring, and amazing. Thanks to you too. Everybody in the room? Yeah. So honestly, the formation, depending on our age, the formation of our musical life potentially, and certainly the entry into things that we didn't know were out there. And let's see, Nancy put in National Brotherhood Week, Tom Lehrer. Thank you, Nancy. And Jane said, any PA voters out there who still have ballots in hand should not mail them from now on, but deliver them by hand to a drop box or vote in person. Thank you. Jane, I think that is the case also in some other states. So please check before you mail anything at this point. I think, in fact, don't mail anything at this point.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Don't mail anything anywhere. It's too late.
Thank you, Storm. Okay, so everybody use your feet and put your mask on and go put it in a box and make sure it's actually a real box, because apparently there's boxes that aren't actually real boxes, and never mind. I know. Okay. Dick Jackson from BC, who was one of the Ubuntu Chorus Network folks, like Dennis, also put out a heartfelt thanks to you guys. And Caroline said, speaking of Tom Lehrer, Tom, age 92, has decided to put all his lyrics and sheet music into the public domain before he passes away. Let's all thank Tom Lehrer. That's actually pretty remarkable. Annie and Peter. So I'm going to ask you a question, then mute so that we don't have an echo. And the question is, can you tell us a little bit more about how the Rise Up Singing Songbook came to be? And then, so that I don't have to unmute, remute, how about also let us know sort of what you're doing in COVID times?
Sure. Wow. So, you know, one of the things that we kind of like to draw attention to when we talk about Rise Up Singing is we had a whole host of people in a community of musicians and song leaders that helped us make the book. But some people know this story, but really it started as an underground songbook that Peter had made with some folks, and that book was called Winds of the People, and it was sold kind of by word of mouth, and really Peter didn't ask for permissions for those songs in that book.
I asked, they just said no.
Yeah, they just said no. And he actually went up to Pete Seeger and said, you know, I want to make this little book, and do you have any recommendations? And what did Pete say to you?
He said, don't bother to ask, they'll only say no.
Only say no.
About the big corporations.
Right.
Hey guys, do you guys have a way to turn your volume up at all? I'm not having a problem, but some folks are. So if you can raise it, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah. How's that? Is that, well, I can do a little bit better. Peter, can you talk right into it?
Can you hear me okay now? Better.
Is that better? I can turn it up here too. It's a tricky thing of, you don't want to get feedback. So let us know.
I think you're good now.
Okay, let us know if you get any feedback. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear better now. Any rate, so Pete Seeger was involved in our process of going from Winds of the People to creating Rise Up Singing, and really a mentor, and on our song selection committees, and so it was a lot of work before there was the internet. The book came out in 1988.
So over 25 years, I don't know if all of you guys know that we made a sequel in 2015. 25 years later, Pete actually pushed us to bring out the second book after we ran into some problems with getting it to come out. and it's got 1,200 more songs. So if you have both books, you've got 2,400 songs, completely different songs, a lot more different genres like blues and country and Motown, all kinds of great stuff.
Well, with Rise Against the sequel, we wanted to make sure we put in songs and genres that weren't necessarily covered in Rise Up Singing. And, both books are really kind of homemade looking, and that was the idea, was to have something that felt really grassroots and was accessible. And it wasn't meant to be a be-all, end-all kind of, oh, you have to have this songbook. It was meant to be a resource all along. And so with Rise Up Singing, I think it just caught people's attention. And now there's, unfortunately, because of COVID, the sing-along groups are meeting online or trying to figure out other ways to do it. But up until the pandemic, we had these sing-along groups that use our songbooks all over the world, hundreds and hundreds of them, which is kind of cool. Hey, Storm, showing us your books. Yeah, so what we're doing now in terms of COVID, we have an online presence every Monday on Facebook Live. We do
3 p.m. Eastern Time.
An hour of singing. And, our job is to teach new songs people might not have heard before, and also do songs that are comforting and help us feel like we are together. And we have a wonderful international community that comes on and joins us. So we'd love to see people there. Join us on Mondays. And it's really, it's like this. We just get online and we choose the songs, and about once a month we do a all request. Yeah, out of both our songbooks. So
our website is riseupandsing.org, riseupandsing.org, or if you just search for Rise Up Singing authors or something, it'll probably pop up. And if you add /live to that, you'll find the live events we're doing, especially those Monday noon sings that Annie leads. And the other thing that was mentioned earlier is that we email out about 4 or 5 times a week a kind of song of the day. It's not live like this, but it's Si Kahn or Emma's Revolution or Magpie, lots of different people, Melanie Demore, singing songs off of YouTube basically, and a little bit of extra background about the song and the artist.
People like that because sometimes they're not familiar with that particular artist, and we like to lift up songs that we think are really either comforting or energizing or revitalize us during the time of COVID. And then I am a jazz singer. I sing in a swing band, and so my swing band is Girls from Mars, and we do online events. Peter and I do online concerts. We do a lot of online concerts where we're leading singing with everybody and just talking about, bringing us together like this. It's kind of what we have to do. We have to remember that we're all together and look around the room, so that's a lot of what we've been doing.
In terms of the voting, a cool thing that we did this fall was we did 5 Sing Out the Vote concerts, which were benefits for a group called Movement Voter Project, which works with grassroots get out the vote groups, especially BIPOC groups, people of color groups, and young people's groups that are getting out the vote in swing states. And so we did those 5 online sing-along concerts back in into September.
Yeah, we had
October.
Si Kahn join us for 3 of those,
Reggie
as well
Harris
as
was
Emma's
3 of them.
Revolution, our buddies. I've toured with Emma's Revolution and also with Magpie, and so we miss each other. When you go on tour with other musicians, you miss each other. So we're finding ways to kind of connect. And lately, in terms of voting, I recommend a site called Choose Democracy. Some of you probably already know about it. They have some really good resources there for how to move forward depending on what happens next. We could go on and on, but I'm sure we've talked long enough. We're doing a lot of stuff. We're very busy.
That's great. Thank you so much. That was not too long at all. So I'm actually going to ask you if you have any interesting figures from history, from voting history, suffrage history, that you'd like to toss out any names for anybody in the room to look up, or if that is not something that sort of falls in the line of what you guys are in touch or in tune with.
this isn't exactly a historical figure in terms of voting, but do people know the song, the MTA song? I think you probably do. A lot of you. It's a kind of a sing along favorite. It was recorded by I think maybe I don't know, all the groups that recorded it way back when. But anyway, the MTA song is a song about a guy who got stuck on a railway. And this song was written, it has a very interesting electoral history. In 1948, a progressive candidate named Henry Wallace, I think he was from Wisconsin, was running for president. And a lot of lefties like Pete Seeger and his friends were really excited about this guy, Henry Wallace, and thought he had a chance running against Truman. And in the state of Massachusetts, in Boston, there was a guy running on the progressive ticket for mayor. And this guy had a great campaign song that was written by some people in Boston called Charlie on the MTA. And basically, this was a really cute song to an old melody and it had a great chorus and everything. And I ran into Bess Hawes, who wrote this song in Washington, actually at a Pete Seeger kind of informal concert for the National Endowment of the Arts. And I said, when you wrote that song, did you have any clue that people would be singing it 20 or 30 or 40 years later? And she said, we had no idea. We thought it was a throwaway song just for that election and nobody would ever sing it. Got picked up by the Kingston Trio. Anyway, that's where that was an electoral song.
That question makes me think about some of the shoulders we stand on from the civil rights movement, like Ella Baker. And, a lot of people have taken the chorus of a song written by Sweet Honey in the Rock. Bernice Regan. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. And I just think we look to some of those leaders from the civil rights movement. Right now, people are writing songs that come from things that they said to us. And we just have to remember, singing those songs helps the information stay lodged in our brain in a different place, so that when we hear all the news items and the tweets from 45, and all the things that are just constantly distracting us, the melodies of those songs, if we sing them, it helps us remember that we're not alone and that we've got the company of our ancestors who fought for justice.
Thanks so much, guys. That was absolutely great. I'm going to go ahead and put links to both of those things in tomorrow's email. I've even made myself a note to make sure I do it. And I don't know, on the subject of he never returned, that could be a really fun song to sing after the election, we hope. So maybe we can have you guys back to sing that one with us. And then, of course, Ella's song would be another lovely one to do. Thank you so much to everybody in the room for the amazing comments in the chat. I hope you guys are all reading them. And Annie and Peter will send you the chat so you can read it afterwards, because there's things in there. Lots of thanks to you guys. And so before we end today's amazing and inspiring and fun and maybe not so funny song day, would you guys be willing to sing us the chorus once more, and or a verse or whatever you want to give us back?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks again, everybody. Thanks for being here, and thanks for having us.
Chorus.
'Cause we've got government on horseback again, back to the day when congressmen were men. We can make it on our own, running on testosterone. It's government on horseback again. Woo. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Annie and Peter. Thank you so much for a great song and a great sing-along, and of course for all the great laughs. And Annie, you have a great laugh. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, but first I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Thank you so much for being with us today.